Mom Unstuck family. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorothy and this is Mom Unstuck. On today's video, I am going to be having a candid conversation about something interesting that happened a few weeks ago while my sister was visiting me here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the very first time. And I'm originally from Kenya, for those who don't know, and it was her very first time visiting here. So, first of all, I need to say thank you so much for watching my previous video about dealing with grief and the challenges of going through grief when you lose a loved one and you live abroad. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one too. So today I decided to do a bit of an outdoorsy video, which is a first for me, so forgive the audio. It's a bit windy out here. My kids wanted to go for a walk, and we decided to go out for a walk, and I thought this might be a good chance for me to get this video out because I've been meaning to record this for over a week now and I didn't do it yet. All right, let's get into it. So today I want to talk about an interesting observation that my sister had, because of course she was very curious. She was enjoying her stay here, but she had a few questions that popped up, and she was just curious and asked me, how does it go with getting time off from work? Because she realized while she was here, I couldn't really take time off. I still went to work as usual, and she stayed home, and whatever we needed to do, we mostly did it during in the evening after my work. So that was an interesting conversation I had with her, and I was telling her how it's not easy here, just stopping work, and she didn't have any expectation of needed me to stop work for anything. She was happy to be at home and wait until we were able to do stuff together. So, but it was just a curious conversation that we had, and I was explaining to her how it's not easy if you need to take time off from work and like to spend time with your loved ones if they're visiting or if they're unwell. So I had mentioned at work that my sister would be coming, and it's fine. Nobody is going to stop you from taking time off, but the thing you need to know is that it's going to be unpaid. So you might take as many days as you want, as many hours in a day or as many days, but baby girl, baby boy, it's going to be unpaid. So that was something she found very interesting and very different here, because I was asking her, my sister is a teacher back home, and I asked her, how does it work back home? And for the time off, because she took the month of August off to visit us here, and I asked her, how does it work there? She said, no, my pay will, at the end of August, at the end of the month, will come in as usual. So there'll be no days off taken because I took time off. And I told her it would be different for me if I decided to take the whole month off because she was here, it would be different. So that was something she found really interesting, and I thought it might be a good topic to bring it on here and see what you guys think. Whatever country you're watching from, I'd like to know in the comment section. Please let me know where you're from and if you can relate in any way to what I'm sharing today. So it wasn't anything really new for me. I've lived over 10 years in Canada, so I'm pretty familiar with the work situation in terms of taking time off and everything else. So it's just that she was shocked. A few things actually were a culture shock here for her, and maybe with time I'll be addressing those things. Yeah, but this was just one of them that really blew my mind. For the few days I took off to spend with her, I wasn't going to get paid. And yeah, that's actually the reality of life here in Canada, especially if you're not somebody who works like a regular 9 to 5 job where you have full benefits and sick days off, maybe. And even I'm thinking about the sick days if you work as a full-time employee. I do not work a 9 to 5, so, and I also do not work a full-time job, which is something probably I can talk about in a different video about my experience living and working in Canada when you have young kids. That's a story for another day. So I can do a whole video about that. But for someone who works full time, I believe you would be entitled to maybe about 5 to 7 days, which you can take as your probably sick days. I want to say it's probably up to 5 days maximum that you can take paid days off if you work full time. But for someone like me who I would be considered a part-time or a casual, there is no paid time off from work. And with the cost of living here, honestly, even taking um 2 3 days, even a week from work would be a huge chunk taken off of my paycheck. And so those are some of the things I was having to explain to my sister who was visiting us. Just some of the challenges and some of the things that I don't think many people would know about Canada. But yeah, I just thought I should shed light on that. Again, let me know in the comment section what you think about this topic. What has your experience been since you moved to Canada? How has the work life been since you moved here? Are you able to take time off? Are you paid for your time off? Maybe you have those uh, good jobs that actually pay you to take when you need time off. And in my previous video, I talked about grief, and I'd highly suggest that you watch that video. And I was thinking about it, like if I needed to take time off from work for grief, I believe it would be the same if you're working full time. It would be about 5 days days off paid. And just imagine if your loved one who's passed on is living abroad, overseas, and you needed to travel, and you needed to attend the funeral and all that, and you needed to book flights to go be with your family. Is that something you'd be able to do with 5 days off, even if you're getting paid? Probably not, right? So yeah, it's among the challenges that immigrants face when you're living abroad. Um, as much as you would like time off, it cannot always be a reality because there's bills to be paid, and the bills don't wait for nobody. And you want to keep up with the bills, stay on top of your bills. You don't want to be late paying bills because maybe you have a loved one visiting and you took too much time off work, but after they've left, life has to go on. And yeah, I found that to be very interesting conversation I was having with my sister. But anyways, no complaints at all. It was lovely to have her around. My kids really had a good time with her, and she came at the best time because we are still in the summer months and the weather has been really nice. And it was just a beautiful time that we spent together. I am not complaining at all. I would actually love for her to have stayed longer, but unfortunately she couldn't at this time. But hopefully we'll have her visit again, and we'll get to spend much more time together. And this time I will plan to take more time off, right? I mean, we all deserve it if we work so hard. Um, It's just that, to be honest, with the cost of living, it's just not a reality for many of us. Cost of living in Canada has really gone up. Uh, and another thing you have to consider with Canada is the high taxes. Some provinces, about 35% of your paycheck goes towards taxes. So you can imagine if you're taking days off that you don't necessarily need to take days off, uh, it's going to cost you at the end. It's going to cost you at the end. Um, yeah, another thing is due to the nature of my work, I work in healthcare as a home care aide. It's not always easy because of the clients that I work with to find someone to take over my shifts or to cover my shifts while I'm away. I work with private families and they are really truly dependent on the caregivers that they have. So as much as I had tried to prepare my work, that my sister was coming and they were happy that they was coming, there's also that dependency where they're like, okay, are we going to not have you a few days or for how many days? And even when you're trying to take those days off, and I really love and appreciate what I do. My work is very fulfilling and I love it. I love the flexibility of my work. But it's hard sometimes when you're trying to take time off because they also need you. They're really dependent on the caregivers that are available for them. And I was fortunate enough that it worked out between my colleagues and I. They were able to step in for me, even just to be able to leave work a couple hours early than usual. So, yeah, one or two of my colleagues were able to do that for me, and I really appreciated that. Okay, so yeah, again, this video was just to highlight uh, something that may not be very well known about work life here in Canada. That if you're working here, it's not it's not necessarily easy to find a full-time job, especially as a mom of two. You might not even be able to work a flexible schedule that uh, allows you also to be available for your children, especially now that schools are closed and schools here are closed for 2 months. So, yeah, so some of us moms end up having to work casual, and it's okay if you find something that works for your family and you still have a decent income. It doesn't hurt. Not everyone is meant to work the 9 to 5 life. I'm personally not even a big fan of that life anymore. I love what I do and I love the flexibility that my work provides me. But I thought this would be an interesting conversation to have today. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Sorry if it's too loud and windy. It's currently very windy here. We're going for a walk, but it's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. And maybe I'll just show you a little bit around us. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Mom and Stack. Follow me on Instagram as well. And I will see you on my next video. Bye.